morning, everybody. Day 33 of our Minute Bible Verses. So today we're going to be in the book of Luke, chapter 8, verses 43 through 48. And it reads, "And a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, but no one could heal her. She came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately her bleeding stopped. 'Who touched me?' Jesus asked. When they all denied it, Peter said, 'Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you.' But Jesus said, 'Someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me.' Then the woman, seeing that she could not go unnoticed, came trembling and fell at his feet. In the presence of all the people, she told why she had touched him and how she had been instantly healed. Then he said to her, 'Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace.'" So very interesting story about Jesus performing a miracle, not even based on what this says, not even purposefully. So the background on this is Jesus and his disciples are going to, I believe they were going to do a resurrection of somebody who had died. By this time, they're going to village, town to town, spreading the gospel. He's starting to get popular. People are following. Anytime they see him and they hear about him, they're starting to follow in these big crowds. So crowded, they're bumping into him, pushing him. And this woman reaches out, touches his cloak as he's walking by, and her condition is healed. I think what is... there's multiple things that are interesting about this. So let's just start breaking it down. So first off, the woman had been struggling with bleeding for 12 years. Now, what that means specifically, we don't know. Scholars typically believe that she essentially was menstruating for 12 years uncontrollably. This could have been a lot of different reasons. Some scholars believe like ovarian cancer or cervical cancer, something like that could have happened. But she was hemorrhaging for 12 years, and no doctor could heal her. But when she touched his cloak, it immediately stopped. She was immediately healed, and it was just this miracle that happened just from her touching Jesus' cloak. Now, what's interesting about the time period they're in, so Jewish people, and in the Mosaic law, a woman who is menstruating is actually seen as unclean. There's a bunch of things that are seen as unclean in the Jewish faith. There's certain animals that are unclean. You're not supposed to eat them. You're not supposed to have intercourse with a woman who menstruated until she has been cleaned. All these old ceremonial laws. So this woman, ideally, to everybody in this crowd, to all these Jewish people, she was considered unclean. So even like touching her would have been kind of an ungodly act to the Jewish people. Yet for Jesus and Christianity as a whole, that's not relevant. That doesn't matter. She touched Jesus, and Jesus immediately and instantly cured her of her condition. Despite her being unclean, not supposed to be touched, that kind of thing. And what healed her is her faith alone. So you have this woman here who knows who Jesus is. He was popular at this point, so she knew who he was. She knew she wasn't really gonna get through this crowd and get a hold of him, but she had the faith that if all she had to do was just touch his cloak, that she would be healed. And that's what Jesus says at the end here. "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." Just having the faith in Jesus, just the faith, was enough to cure her of her condition, which is a really amazing thing. She didn't even ask. She didn't even have any way of interacting with Jesus other than grabbing him and just having the faith that it would work. And it worked. Jesus says, "Your faith alone has healed you." Just having faith in me and believing that it will happen is enough. which I think is really powerful. There's a lot of things that Christians get wrapped up in, and we try to do the best for ourselves, the best for each other, take care of each other, but at the end of the day, it really just boils down to faith. And that's what this woman had. Just undying, true faith. She didn't have a doubt that this would work. So long as she could touch his cloak, she had belief that it would heal her. So I think it's a pretty powerful story that is kind of glazed over a lot. We hear about it, but I don't think we really register how impactful that is, how impactful faith is. So yeah, that's the verse for today. Undying faith to Jesus is leaps and bounds. He just wants us to have full trust and faith in what he can do and what he will do for us. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.